Welcome back. So in the last episode I took the carb apart and the tank, and the tank was really badly rusted inside. The filter's also all broken and badly rusted. So obviously I had to clean the inside of the tank. And there's a whole lot of different ways of doing it. You can use acids and vinegar and salt and all sorts of things, but I didn't want to use anything corrosive or anything too messy, so I decided to go for electrolysis. I'm not going to explain the whole process because there's tons of tutorial videos and that on YouTube, so you can just check that out. But yeah, it's been running for about 3.5 days now. The reaction is still going on, as it's still bubbling, so that means there's probably still a bit of rust in there, but I'm getting a bit bored of waiting now, so I'm going to switch it off, take it apart, rinse out the tank, and we'll see what it looks like, whether it still needs to carry on going for a bit or whether it'll be usable the way it is. So I'll just quickly show you what it looks like. And so this is the setup. I'm just using a Arduino's 5-volt output to run the electrolysis. You can see there's a whole lot of gunjets now already sort of precipitated out and come out of the solution. And I don't know, maybe you can, if I just stay quiet for a while, you might hear it bubbling. It's not a particularly pretty setup. Like I say, I don't have all that much tooling and stuff to go by, so it's quite sort of rough and ready, but it seems to be doing the job. So I'm just going to switch it off, and then we'll rinse out the tank and see what it looks like inside. So yeah, you can see some of the build-up on the electrode, but I think the most interesting part is going to be if I scrape it. So this is obviously all sort of loose and quite nasty, but if we scrape here, so that's just kind of dissolved away. So this is the sacrificial part, and theoretically inside the tank now should be beautifully clean, but yeah, we'll see how we go. Right, so that's what it looks like inside so far. It's a bit difficult to show you. There is still a little bit of surface rust. The stuff that you see blowing around on the inside of the tank, that's WD-40. So as I started drying it out, I realized that it was flash rusting quite quickly. So I've just coated the whole inside of the tank with WD-40 to try and stop it from rusting again. There's still some sort of rust visible at the bottom. Most of the big flakes have now been turned into this sort of black, or what apparently they call black rust, which is, as the metal starts changing into rust, it forms this black sort of layer, and that's the layer that gets converted back into usable metal with the the electrolysis process. So it's not perfect yet. It probably could go a bit more, but I think it's fine for just to get the bike started and see whether it'll run. Once we've done that and had a test drive, and we know what the other issues are, then we can do the electrolysis again on the tank, try and see whether we can get it any better. So yeah, I'm going to start putting everything back together and then put some fuel in it and see whether it'll start. that's as far as I can get right now on the table. The rest has to be assembled on the bike. So yeah, we'll do that. So the carb's back in. I just got to tighten up this, but I'll do that once the tank's on and I know which way it needs to be positioned. Right, so I've mixed some fuel. Let's turn on the tap. And that's leaking quite nicely. It's not a good start.